Hey guys, how's it going? Today's date is August 2nd, 2015, and realize I haven't been making that many videos this summer. Been incredibly busy with college registration, job hunting, car, all this stuff. It's got me really busy. And I do have some videos planned that we're going to be filming this week, so there will be some more videos up here on my channel. And I wanted to do something, you know, and I was trying to think, what haven't I done? I don't think I have ever done a video talking about my vinyl record collection, so I figured, hey, why not? Not really doing anything tonight, so just rip out my records, see what we can do here. So, hope you enjoy it, a different type of video. First one, this is kind of a fail on my part. It's not a vinyl record, it's a Laserdisc of Psycho 4, The Beginning. Now, the reason I have this is because I remember seeing on YouTube someone posted some soundtrack clips from the Psycho 4 soundtrack, and they were talking about how rare it was, and how scarce it was, and how hard to find the soundtrack was. And I saw this on eBay. I was really young at the time. I was going into like 6th grade, I think, so I didn't know what a Laserdisc even was at that time. I saw this and I thought it was a vinyl record, so I bought it, thinking it was the record soundtrack, and I got it, and I'm looking at the back, I'm like, it's talking about the movie, like digital Laserdisc, and then I see up here color, 1 hour 36 minutes, and if you look at a Laserdisc, it's essentially just a giant DVD. I do not own a Laserdisc player, nor do I plan on investing in one, and I know how Laserdisc works. I know you watch it, and then you're going to have to flip it around, so yeah, that's kind of a fail. Hey, I've got the Psycho 4, The Beginning Laserdisc. Just proves I'm that hardcore of a collector. It's the only Laserdisc I own. So, yeah, that'll be my new goal. Just buy one of every format that there is, I guess. So yeah, there's that. I just keep it with my records because I got nowhere else to put it. Alright, now getting into the records, we've got the soundtrack to Children of the Corn, composed by Jonathan Elias, which a lot of the names are misspelled, like in referring to some of the scenes, a lot of the names are misspelled, but oh well. And I noticed too, one other thing, I was looking at the back of the soundtrack and there's a scene, I'm assuming this is a scene that was cut from the movie. They're in a police station killing cops. I don't remember that from the movie, but yeah, this Children of the Corn soundtrack, I got this for really cheap. So, yeah, there's that. Alright, we come to It's Hard by The Who from 1982. This was my dad's, he handed it down. This is a pretty good one. What's the song I really like on here? Eminence Front. That was a pretty big hit by The Who. I really like that song, Eminence Front. I've got the CD, I've got a lot of albums by The Who on CD. As it goes, I'm going to need to give this one a re-listen. I don't remember too much about those songs. Got Reach the Beach by The Fix, 80s pop, 80s new wave, I'd call this, from 1983, I believe. And I see a lot of these I don't know what the CD, like, it's got all the lyrics and everything on there. Who's, you know, One Thing Leads to Another was always my favorite song by The Fix, and I love that those total 80s portraits of themselves are on the back. Loverboy, Get Lucky. You know, everyone knows this one for Working for the Weekend. Loverboy is a great 80s rock band. Really like Loverboy. This is a good one. I don't know too much about their later 80s stuff. I'm going to need to relook at some of that, but this is Get Lucky. Really like it. And my record collection is still growing, so it's like, this isn't it. Got this, a lot of these are 12-inch maxi singles. Like this one, it's like, see, this used record store I go to, they're all like $1 for all of these, and anything that's even remotely 80s looking, I buy. So if something looks 80s or it's from the 80s, I buy it just because. Such the case with this one, Gina La Mujer. I know you're probably looking at this cover thinking, what the hell? It's a 12-inch single for a song called I'm Gonna Make You Want Me, and the B-side has the instrumental version. It's an 80s dance song. It's actually pretty catchy. It's not a bad song at all. And a lot of the... Yeah, we got it. looks on there. So, yeah, the 12-inch single, Gina La Mujer, I'm Gonna Make You Want Me. Apollonia. I believe this is Prince's woman at one point. This is Since I Fell For You. It's got some remixes, as well as a song called These Boots Are Made For Walking. If any of these come in the plastic, I just keep it in the plastic. And as I said, anything that looks 80s I buy. So all these female dance tracks here, that's why I got them. Every Time You Want by Trisha. Yeah, there's a lot of these too. Don't You Want Me Baby by Mandy, with the cocktail mix, with side 2 being If It Makes You Feel Good. It's actually not a bad cover of the song by the Human League. Gino Vanelli, Black Cars. I think this was a pretty big hit in the 80s, if I remember correctly. This is an album, this isn't a single. I'm gonna need to give it, it's been a while since I listened. I know I like Black Cars. Gino Vanelli, Black Cars. The soundtrack for the movie Streets of Fire. I never saw this movie yet, but I do really like these songs. Looking at the cast, Michael Pare, Diane Lane, Rick Moranis. Directed by Walter Hill. I'm gonna have to give that movie a watch. I do really like this soundtrack, though. That's a really good soundtrack, Streets of Fire. Nancy Martinez, Move Out. Doesn't get any more 80s on this. These are singles from the album Not Just the Girl Next Door. So I don't think I've looked up any other songs. This is just a single with Move Out. So I'm gonna have to look those up. Jasmine, Close to You. See, most of these, it's just the title song extended with an instrumental or remix version. Sophie, Tales to Tell. This is actually an album. This is a couple songs. And, a lot of these, like, I keep the plastic sleeves and everything that these come in. Although it's kind of a pain to put back in the sleeve sometimes. But it's Tales to Tell by Sophie. Pretty surreal looking cover there. Just trying to get Someone to Love by Lisa Johnson. I'm also doing this video if you're a huge 80s enthusiast and you want to check some of these out. Go right ahead. I got a little bit of every genre here. Malto Carina, I don't know how to say that. One More Time. I just buy these based off the covers and if they're from the 80s. Trying to be as big of an 80s collector as I can. Alright, now this one is another fail on my part. I'm a huge 80s rock fan. That's my number one genre. I love my 80s rock. I bought this having no clue what it was. I just assumed it was rock by the cover. Now tell me, doesn't this look like it would be like an 80s rock album cover, an AOR cover? That airbrush, this just looks like it would be a rock album. Turns out it's a soul/funk kind of thing, which is not my cup of tea, but oh well, the SOS band, Sands of Time, oh well. And got the soundtrack to The Secret of My Success with Michael J. Fox. Got some good songs in here, like The Secret of My Success by Night Ranger is a great song. Sometimes the Good Guys Finish First by Pat Benatar, and this one I like. Riskin' a Romance by Bananarama. Price of Love by Roger Daltrey. It's got some good songs on it. The movie, Secret of My Success, it's okay, but I do really like this soundtrack. This is like a new wave band from the 80s. It's a single, The Alarm, Rain in the Summertime. It's from the album Eye of the Hurricane, according to that. Now this is an 80s classic right here. Okay, and I don't care who knows I like it. Taylor Dayne, Tell It to My Heart. Can't hate it. Tell it to my heart. Tell me I'm the only one. It's one of the catchiest songs of the 80s. I love it. I love this whole album. Taylor Dayne she's great. And Tell It to My Heart and Do You Want It Right Now. Those are probably my two favorites from this. I listen to this one a lot. This one's got a special place in my heart. It's the Mr. T's Commandments album. Seriously, it's the Mr. T album. How can you hate that? It's awesome. What is this one? Rival Love by Astaire. I don't really remember too much about this one. I know I've got it ripped somewhere. I'll have to recheck this. Now this is a really obscure, like, German song. I don't even know what you would consider this. It's like yodeling and hip-hop and pop. I don't know what you would consider this. It's the single, it's a German band, Edelweiss. I'm trying to say that with a German accent. Bring me Edelweiss. Edelweiss. I don't know how you say it. It's a really, really... I mean, if you watch the music video for that, it's some strange stuff. The soundtrack for the movie The Wildlife, which I haven't seen, although I think it's really weird. I'm assuming this is the front side right here, but the back side is upside down. Or is this the front side? I don't know. Who knows? This is a great one right here, one of my prized ones, the Cobra soundtrack, Angel of the City. That tornado warning's not from my county, I'm good. So we got Cobra. Some of the best songs I know, you got Angel of the City by Robert Tepper, Feel the Heat by Jean Bouvier, and Hold On to Your Vision by Gary Wright. I don't even remember that song being in it. I know Stan Bush originally wrote the song You Got the Touch for this movie, but that song would have been really, really, really out of place in this movie. Got Welcome to the Real World by Mr. Mister. This is the one that's got Broken Wings and Kyrie on it, and like Run to Her, Don't Slow Down. These are some good songs, and I always like Mr. Mister. Mr. Mister's a good, like, kind of like a pop rock kind of band. I really like their song Stand and Deliver. My throat is getting dry. I've been drinking anything all day. Got Dangerous Attraction by Lion, classic 80s hard rock. My favorite song on here is Never Surrender. It was on the soundtrack for The Wraith. Looks like some pretty nasty storms up north. Now this is a very underrated band. I don't know how popular this band is yet or not. I don't know. It's very, very Journey. If you want a band that sounds almost exactly like Journey and a singer that sounds almost exactly like Steve Perry, that would be this. It's a band called Charlie. This is a self-titled album. If you want the best of it, look up their song Playing to Win. That's like Class A Journey sounding right there. Lead vocals are by a guy named Terry Slessor, not Slessor. Lead vocals Terry Slessor. Yeah, this is a very underrated one. I definitely recommend Charlie. It's very underrated. Not a lot of people know about this one. Another underrated, Honeymoon Suite. Honeymoon Suite is a great band. It's a band. It's very similar to Mr. Mister, that kind of like pop rock. Feel It Again. I think anybody who knows this album will agree that Feel It Again is probably the best song from it. Okay. Go West. It's kind of a pop, kind of a... Some rock in there. It's mostly kind of a pop. band. I know they Go West. They did a lot of songs for a lot of different movie soundtracks. The single for "Sex as a Weapon" by Pat Benatar, the extended mix. This doesn't really have too extravagant of a cover. It's just a black sleeve. This is one of my favorite Pat Benatar songs. It's "Sex as a Weapon" and "Invincible" are probably some of my favorites. Lisa Johnson again with "Listen." Okay, I remember this. This is I heard one song from this album on YouTube, and I really, really liked it. I'm like, wow, I never heard of that band before, so I got myself a copy of the record. The band is, I never heard of this band. I don't believe this band ever got known or anything. It's a band called The City, and the album is called Foundation. I'm trying to remember. The song I remember liking the most from this album is called Parallel Lines. So if you look up The City, Parallel Lines, that song is great. This band is, it's another kind of, it's got that Journey kind of Survivor kind of sound to it. At least that song did, Parallel Lines did. I don't remember too much of these other songs. But Parallel Lines, that's a great one. I like this cover too. That's a really cool illustration. I like that. This is an awesome one. King Cobra, Thrill of a Lifetime. Marcy Free. I remember a lot of people dissed this album because it was more melodic rock and less like hard heavy metal. But heavy metal's not really. I love AOR melodic rock. That's my kind of music. And this album has some great songs like Dream On, Feel the Heat, Thrill of a Lifetime. Wait, which is the one? Home Street Home. If you want to hear Mark Free rap, there's a rap song on here. And of course, Iron Eagle, Never Say Die, 80s soundtrack, classic right there. Cool cover with the roller coaster and everything. Tornado on the Ground near Waukegan. Interesting. Now this is a very underrated band right here. This is a Canadian band. Apparently they're really, really famous in Canada, but I never hear anything about them here in America. It's Alien Shores by Platinum Blonde. Amazing now. I love it. It's like a pop rock, kind of new wave rock. I don't know how you really... I mean, look at that. Is that not the most 80s thing you've ever seen? Some of the best songs. It's hard to narrow it down because I love each and every one of these songs. This is one of my favorite bands. Situation Critical, Crying Over You, Red Light, It Ain't Love Anyway, Lost in Space, Animal. This is if you love 80s music, you gotta get familiar with Platinum Blonde. They've had a couple albums. I know there was Standing in the Dark, there was Contact. They did a couple songs with they did a couple albums with alternate band names. But this is my favorite Platinum Blonde album. You know what song I bought this for? Big Country, The Crossing. In a big country, dreams stay with you. Like a lover's voice past the mountainside. You can't hate it. You can't hate it. Alright, talking about Journey, well here you go, you got Captured. This is a multiple LP. Cover there. Then I'll open it. Very cool double LP of Journey. Journey doesn't need any introduction. I got more CDs. I don't remember where I got this. The Chicago Bears Super Bowl Shuffle, the Shuffling Crew. Why not? I'm not really a sports guy, but piece of history right there. Another underrated band, it's kind of a new wave pop. I wouldn't really consider this rock, I would consider this kind of pop and new wave. A = 440. You would never hear this band. This was their only album, and Method to My Madness, Take Me to My Heart. My favorite song off this album was actually Flair for the Dramatic. So So I go, this is a great underrated band. I'll definitely look them up. A equals 440. My record collection is still growing too, so if you think this is kind of half-assed, I apologize. Got the DC Cap soundtrack, which is one of my favorite comedies. I love the soundtrack. Highly recommend the movie. I highly recommend the soundtrack. The single for The Sun Always Shines on TV by Aha. It's got the extended version, the instrumental version, and a song called Driftwood. Oh, I don't know that song, Driftwood. Aha, everyone knows Aha from the 80s. Train of Thought was always my favorite song of theirs. And then these are two that were given to me as a gift. These are both from the early 80s. A single for Lies by the Thompson Twins, and Is There Something I Should Know by Duran Duran. And I got some 7-inch singles right here. We've got Video Love by Phil Steele, which this is one of the most underrated pop songs of the 80s. I absolutely love Video Love by Phil Steele. It's from 1986. Definitely look up on YouTube Video Love by Phil Steele. It's an amazing, super awesome 80s pop song. I just got these sitting up here. We've got a 7-inch for the 1989 Wimbledon theme song, which is The Challenge, Face It by Chris Thompson, and composed by Harold Faltermeyer. This is like a dance song, it's like a pop song, but it's pretty motivational, pretty catchy. It's got some cool brass, like trumpets in there. It's a pretty cool song. Chris Thompson's a good guy. Look who wants to make a cameo in this. We've got Phantom of the Blue, No Way Out. It's another very underrated 80s dance kind of pop song. It's also got Maybe You Will. But yeah, definitely look up Phil Steele, Video Love, and look up Phantom of the Blue, No Way Out. They're both amazing, underrated 80s pop songs. Okay, how am I gonna do that? How did I get that? And then lastly, I've got it framed up there. I've got the Youngblood soundtrack, which has one of my all-time favorite 80s songs on it, Stand in the Fire by Mickey Thomas, one of my all-time favorite songs from the 80s. So yeah, it's my record collection. Just figured I'd show you guys, and hope you liked it.